Hi everybody, it's Lori again from Living with Light and Love. Um, I am an intuitive healer, energy healer, and I thought it was time to just do some videos for anybody that is interested and needs some help and some camaraderie through these tough times that we're living in, which I know I do, and I'm certain most other people do as well. Last week, after we talked about the Great Awakening, I had a request for more information about the fifth dimension. I had mentioned that we are in the Great Awakening now, and we are traveling through the third, fourth, and to the fifth dimension as a collective in the world today. So I guess to start with about the fifth dimension, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's pretty much what heaven on earth would seem to be. All of our mystics have talked about this place. Jesus talked about it as bringing heaven to earth, having heaven on earth. A lot of the ancient religions have talked about and named it different things like nirvana, that sort of thing. They've left us these messages to help to guide us through this time and give us some information about who we really are and how we are energy beings who are all connected, and we're not the individuals that we think we are in the third dimension. That's a quick overview. We'll get into this much deeper as we go through our little chat today. Always, if you have any questions, please post them below or send me a private message and we can chat some more about it, or if there's something else that you want to understand or need to know, and if I can help, I will talk about it again. But back to the fifth dimension. There's the fifth dimension, from what we're used to having here on Earth and living in the third. It's more peaceful. There's more peace and understanding, and love and acceptance of each other and who we are, and the individualism that we all share, because there's not two of us that are alike, and thank goodness there's not, because it'd be a pretty boring world if we were all the same. I know my parents used to tell me that as I was growing up, and it was something that I often thought about deeply, because seriously, what would it be like if we were all the same? It would be really boring. It would be like, I don't know how many of you ever, I'm an old one, so the Stepford Wives, the perfect little robotic type family, and how the world is supposed to be. I lived my life that way for a long time, and that is kind of what the third dimension has held. A lot of polarities, a lot of right and wrong in the third dimension. Those things are fading away. We need to open ourselves up so that we can feel it and move through it without feeling, I don't know, without judgment, I guess, but it's not easy. This is not an easy time for any of us. There's so much going on between the coronavirus, which has changed our world dramatically. We are now doing a lot of our living at home and doing our chatting on video chats like this, not going out with friends and meeting in groups and group classes and things like that. So, we are, even school is being done from home in a lot of cases. There's a lot of people who are working from home, and we still need to have some kind of socialization, but it has given us the opportunity to really reflect a little bit more on what's going on in the world and what is going on within ourselves in relationship to the world. There's a lot of things that have come to the surface so far And there are things that we can't take into a loving, accepting, fifth dimensional world. We have to clear them out. Within ourselves, we each have things within ourselves that we need to clear away. Things that we carry, some pain, guilt, past hurts, karma type deals, however you want to word it, or however you're feeling it yourself. It is all natural and normal. There is the BLM movement, Black Lives Matter. It's a very important movement. There's a lot of pain that has been carried and held on to from the past, from slavery on forward, to how people have not been treated fairly in many situations in the world. There's also the political forum that is just coming out with all kinds of different things. No matter, who you voted for or what platform you believe is telling you the truth or whatever, it doesn't matter. There's a lot that needs to come out, and we all know that there has been corruption in government around the world, not just in the United States, but around the world. We have been a forefront here in the United States as to sending our armed forces into other third world countries and other countries during their elections and things like that in order to help make them more fair and to help fight the corruption for the betterment of and the well-being of their people. Now we're realizing that possibly there might have been something going on here, but that's not been determined yet, one way or another, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to get into a political conversation. I don't want to go there. I'm just saying that this stuff is all coming to the surface, and we need to deal with it. We need to either accept that there's not stuff going on, or accept that there is and fix it. I mean, whatever it is, it's going to work itself out. It's all happening the way it's supposed to in order for us to move as a collective species of humanity. There's also the way that science is kind of blending with spirituality, and discovering that the quantum sciences are discovering how we are all connected. A lot of the religions too have all said things like that. I mean, I was born and raised a Catholic, and we were always told that we carried the Holy Spirit within us and that we were all brothers and sisters in Christ. We were all connected, all part of the same main body, and quantum science is now proving that that is true. I don't know how many of you have followed or heard about any of that, but it's basically the law of entanglement that they have discovered, where if you have an organism or cell or whatever you want to look at, a proton is, I think, what they were mainly looking at in most of their experiments, from what I understand, and it's split, and part of it could be many miles away, and if something happens to one part of it, it happens to the other part simultaneously. Any change that happens simultaneously to the other one. And that's how it works with all of us in all of the universe. We really, truly are connected. We're not separate beings, which is something else that's going to change in the fifth dimension. We're going to kind of understand that a little more clearly, instead of feeling like it's me and you against the world, or it's my side and your side. It's my belief and your belief. I'm right and you're wrong. And all of the polarities that we've become so accustomed to in the third dimension will fade away to an extent. I mean, we're still going to have differences. Obviously, we aren't going to lose our individualism, but we are going to have more acceptance, and the polarities will be less polar opposites. So that's all part of the fifth dimension too, and the fifth dimension way of living that we're heading into. So we need to clear these things out, and that's what's happening in our world today. It's not easy for any of us to get through this. Sometimes I can sit down and watch the news and I can say, well, isn't this interesting how this is happening and how it's playing out, and how it'll be interesting to watch how it works and how we get to where we're going to be in a few more years. Other times it strikes a nerve within me, so to speak, to just kind of put it in kind of a normal language. And I go through a depression or an anxiety. I may just sit down and have a meltdown. I did that yesterday. And sometimes you can't even, or at least with me, I can't even put a finger on what it is that's causing it. But it is what it is. And I've learned that I don't have to be fighting to find happiness every day, every minute of every day, and pushing all of that aside. I'm learning that I need to deal with it and sit with it and take it in and let it rejuvenate within me. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but so that I can deal with it, so that I can let it go or function with it in a way where I can feel the feelings that are involved. We are here to be human, and being human means we feel, and we have emotions, and we need to allow those emotions and those feelings in. However, to sit and dwell on it is not necessarily going to help us to get past it. If we need help with it, there are professionals out there that can help us. There are people out there that can help us. And that's kind of what I'm hoping that I can be here a little bit, is to let you know that we are all in this together. We are all going through this together. And we are heading to a new and better world. I know most people that I've talked to and that I've heard do feel like we are in the end times, and that is true in my beliefs as well. These are the end times, but it doesn't mean the end of the world. It doesn't mean that the world is going to blow up or whatever. It means that we are awakening and discovering who we really are, and that we're not going to live this way anymore. We're not going to live in fear of war every day. We're not going to live in fear of going out in the streets, of leaving our houses. But we have to get through this in order to get there. And we can help each other by just being there for each other and praying and loving, and getting through whatever it is we need to get through to release. And there are, like I said, a lot of people out there that can help you with that. And if I can be of any help or service to you, let me know. So, again, back to our movement through the fourth dimension. I haven't mentioned that yet. It's kind of where we're hanging. It's kind of, we're in the trenches of working through what we've carried with us through the third dimensional world, the polarities, and clearing them so that we can spend more time in the fifth dimension. Many of you that are watching this, if you're listening to this, you've probably been in the fifth dimension on many occasions yourself, when you're in that nirvana type state, that deep meditation, or talking with spirit, or channeling. I know a lot of my friends out there do these things, and that you are tapping into that fifth dimension, and you are walking in that fifth dimension many times. Some of you may not have been into the fifth dimension very often, but sometimes you're there and you don't even know it. Like, have you ever driven someplace and, like home from work, or a drive you do all the time, and you get home and you don't even remember the drive? It's like, wow, how the heck did I get here? I hope I didn't do anything weird while I was on the road, but you were perfectly safe and perfectly fine, but you were hanging out in the fifth dimension. Somewhere you went to, and but you were still alert and aware enough, obviously, to drive your car and get home safely. So, it's all good. It's all good. So, you can get there easily and spend a little more time there too by a form of meditation, which can be anything that you enjoy. If you enjoy, like, I've taken up painting, I'm doing more painting, and you can see one that I did behind me here. But that puts me in that place. If you like to read books or listen to music, that can do it. If you like going out for a walk, you can do that. Even just sitting and petting your dog or your cat, that will put you there. So, spend more time there. Spend a little time with that self-care that I talked about last time that's so needed at this point right now. Soak in a bathtub with some Epsom salts and some lavender oil on a candle going, or, whatever it is that can bring you that peace, that inner peace, so that you can kind of hang out in the fifth dimension a little bit more. And it'll help to release the things that we can't take with us, because we cannot take these things with us. Things like prejudice, hate, anger, guilt, pain, emotional pains. We don't want to take that stuff with us. We can't, really. We need to clear that out. So that's kind of what, in a nutshell, it's all about. The fourth dimension, like I said, that's kind of helping us get there. The stuff is coming to the surface with the riots that have happened at the Capitol and in the streets over the summer, and the government arguments over, elections and whatever, climate change, the new Green Deal, all of these things that are so controversial right now about, depending on who you talk to, people have different opinions on it, but it's all part of clearing out the past so that we can get past it. The truth is starting to show more. When we get closer to the fifth dimension, we'll be able to see the truth and know where the lies are, and they're going to have to go away. There obviously have to be lies, because everybody can't be right as far as, they can in their own way, but the polarity right now that's out there between right and wrong and this side and that side and blah, blah, blah is, it's huge. And that has to kind of mellow out, flatten the curve, as they say about the COVID, right? Flatten the curve. Anyway, that's it in a nutshell as far as how that goes. My recommendations for you to kind of maybe get a little more understanding of this. It may sound like foreign language to you today. It did to me when I first heard it, and started looking into it. What helped me get through and figure it all out, and with everything it is at, because you are connected to the universe. You're connected to spirit. You're connected to God. You're connected to your higher self and your angels and your guides. Sit with it. Sit with this information for a while. It may take a while for you to sit with it. Meditate and think about it, or let the thoughts come in. Just come in and see what you feel after a little while about it and what you believe is truth. Because I'm not here to tell you what the truth is. I'm here to just kind of help you to get through and think about things on your own, because within yourself are all of the answers that you really need. And I don't want to, and nobody should be preaching to people anymore. That's just not the right way. We have the truth within ourselves. So open your mind, sit with it. See and feel your own truth. And check in with your body. Your physical body itself will tell you if something feels right. Have you ever gotten a stomach ache when you were nervous about something? Yeah, it shows up in your stomach. You may get a an ache in your back around your heart, or if you're feeling that this is just not right. So sit with it and see what you think is your truth. That's what's most important through this. And embrace your humanness. Embrace humanness in your feelings. Allow yourself to feel. Give yourself permission to be angry. Give yourself permission to be upset. Give yourself permission to be sad. Give yourself permission to be scared. But don't hold it. Don't hold on to it. Feel it, release it, let it go. And if you have to do it over and over again, that's okay. That's okay. That's what this time is about. So we're all going through this together. And hopefully something I've said has made you feel like you're not alone in all of this. If you need to talk, or if you want to set up a session with me, we can do that. Ask a question right under the comments here. Send me a private message. Have conversations amongst yourself in the messages below. But be kind and be easy on yourself and be easy on others. Just because somebody doesn't have the same belief system that you have doesn't make them wrong. It just makes them different. So, thanks for listening. Let me know in the comments and things below if you're getting anything out of this. I would love to hear from you. Okay? And you guys have a very blessed day and a blessed evening. Love you all. We'll talk again soon. Bye.